Okay, I have the go sign. Hello everyone! My name is Aeshmah. I'm gonna be running the Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island New Game Plus category for you, which has been introduced with the recent expansion pack for the game back in August. It's gonna be a short and sweet category about 1 hour long, so why don't we go right in? So timer will start once I actually confirm my choice to go to Iki Island. So this run will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Make for the northwestern.
Alright, so what changed, what stays the same? Obviously we are going to a completely new area of the game, which hasn't been, which wasn't part of the main game pretty much. You can start going here basically once you get into Act 2 of the game. So once you basically, free Lord Shimura and Castle Kaneda into the second area of the game, you can start to go ahead and start this DLC anytime you want. And we start with a sweet, unskippable cutscene where our protagonist Jin, is on this boat, makes his way over to Iki Island, and as you saw, main protagonist on a boat, traveling to an island, stuff like that just doesn't go over well most of the time. So of course we shipwreck and get into the island that way, and lost our horse. And we are all pretty much upset about this, because if you've played the main game, you know that some stuff happens to the horse. So obviously Jin is very, very afraid for the life of his horse here. So this will be our first task, finding our horse and see if he is alright. Now the game actually slows down your movement in this beginning section of the game. That is why we are not running. Instead we are just rolling our way to victory here in order to go fast, because this is a speedrun. I want to go as fast as possible. So we'll just make our way through this Raiders Cove here. You could pick up a couple things along the way, but it's actually not really needed. And we get introduced to a new mechanic on Iki Island, which is to use the grappling hook in order to just go ahead and pull stuff down. And once you get out of here, we get our first proper introduction to Iki Island. I mean, just look at this. This is beautiful. Right? With the shore and everything. It looks so good, man. Anyway, we are, as I just said, on the lookout for our horse. We will travel along this beach. And the first bit of RNG will come in right here, as we can run into some enemies. If you remember from the main game, enemy patrols on the island are randomized, so you don't know where the patrols are and if you're even gonna run into them or what type of enemies they are made out of. And I already see a patrol right over there, and that's not good, because it's right in our way. It will cost me some time to actually try and circumvent them, because I do not want to get into combat just yet right here, because I just want to make my way over to the next quest marker. And if I am in combat while I get there, I won't actually be able to trigger it. So I will take a bit of a precaution here. Okay, it seems like I evaded them. That of course cost me a little bit of time, because I ideally would just want to run straight this way, but it's not exactly possible. One of the dudes was also on horseback, so there was just no way for me to outrun these guys, because I don't have my own horse at the moment.
Where are you, boy?
But yeah, this is the boat on which we just traveled. It totally shipwrecked on the shore here, and our horse is missing.
I know those tracks. Survived.
But luckily, it seems like our horse made it out okay, so there's probably a chance that it's alive. So let's try and find it. Now the game is very restrictive in the order which you do your quests in, and which triggers you actually have to activate in order to progress the quests. However, there are some that are actually not needed for the progression. One of them being this right here. You are normally supposed to look at all these horse tracks leading up from the shore into the forest here. However, you don't have to look at any of them. If you know where the horse is, you can just walk up this hill, or run up this hill rather. And up to this rock formation on my left there.
Sound, they're close.
And there he is. There's Nobu.
Nobu, he needs me. Not.
And these purple enemies, they're actually a new enemy type that you will face on Iki Island. They are part of the Eagle tribe. And they are probably the toughest enemies in the game. They can take quite the beating, they have a lot of health, they deal a lot of damage, and they also have a couple new interesting combat mechanics that hopefully we don't see a lot of. But, oops, I guess we will see about that a little later on. Anyway, here's our horse. And he has become a little more battle-hardened by his experiences alone out in the wild, surrounded by Mongols, which is the horse charge that we will demonstrate in just a moment here with these Mongols. Hello there, guys. And the horse charge serves two purposes. One of it is to go a little bit faster, because, you know, the horse is actually charging, which makes it go faster, obviously. The other is we can just run through enemies that way, and it deals a lot of damage and sometimes even outright kills enemies, which obviously is very useful in a speedrun setting. So we are gonna try and use that a lot. And now we just free this dude here. And with that, we have already completed the first quest out of the 7 main quests that we're going to do in the in this category. Alright, just gonna skip the cutscene. I can totally turn down the game volume a little bit. Yes, it is still up for you guys. I hope that is better now. Alright, on we go. So now that we have our horse back, what we actually want to do is we want to get into the enemy's main encampment, Fort Sakai. However, in order to, well, make this a proper speedrun, what we actually have to do is turn down here and grab a fast travel point that we will need later in order to quickly travel to this point again, because a couple other quests branch off of it, and it's the nearest point that we were able to get. So I will come here, grab this fast travel point, and then change my armor to the broken samurai armor, which has a cursed charm equipped, which makes it so that I instantly die, which might sound bad, but at this point in the main quest I'm actually supposed to die in order to trigger this cutscene. Because what the game actually expects you to do is to go up to Fort Sakai, because it's the enemy main stronghold and Jin thinks he can just take it all by his lonesome. And as you get into an unwinnable fight and get captured by the enemy, just like this. And yeah, now we are, you know, we've gotten captured by the enemy forces. Jin has been drugged by some psychedelic substance, and he's having all kinds of hallucinations and stuff like that. And we're just gonna have a little bit of a fun sequence here, where Yuna, one of our previous allies from the main game, tries to break us out of the encampment. Strangely, all the enemies are gone. I don't know, maybe she killed all of them, who knows? But we're having just a little bit of a chat, and this is basically a bit of an auto-scroller, except I actually went too fast and left Yuna behind. That is always fun to do, because the game heavily punishes you for actually going too fast whenever you are getting accompanied by an NPC, because they are not exactly the, you know, fastest people on the island. You can actually, or totally, leave them behind if you're going too fast, because actually my movement speed is slowed down during this section. However, when I jump, that speed is not slowed down for whatever reason. So you can go faster in these sections by just jumping along the trail. However, if you do that in a way that your NPC companion cannot catch up to you, they will just get left behind and stand around waving their hands at you to come back and fetch them, and that's obviously a little bit slower to do. So sadly, I was a little bit too fast there. I left Yuna behind, I had to go back and catch her, and now we can just go ahead and continue on here. Another thing that I have equipped on the broken armor is the Charm of Perfect Landing, and what that does is if you jump down from a certain height and roll, so you don't take damage from the fall, you actually get a bit of resolve, and resolve are those little golden bulbs you can see in the lower left corner of the screen. And what resolve allows us to do is, you know, various special actions, like our special attacks, like the Heavenly Strike and the Dance of Wrath that you may know from the main game. But it also allows us to do the horse charge or even revive ourselves should we get downed in combat. So it's a very precious resource that we want to try and have a lot of in any given situation, just so we can, you know, be a little bit more on the safer side. But yeah, we are having another hallucination with Jin here. He's transported back into his childhood, kinda, you know, there's a bit of like a nightmare section where he's having a dream about his father, how he didn't accept him and stuff like that, but it's more or less an auto-scroller. Like, you still have control of Jin and you have to walk through this by yourself, but it's pretty much set in stone how much time this is going to take, because there's just no way to speed this up in any significant way other than just follow the way. It's very linear, there's no forks in the road or anything. You're just pressing up on the control stick, trying to make it out of here as fast as you can. And these sections will actually continue during our trip to Iki Island, like the whole time, because that is one of the main story points of the Iki Island expansion, that Jin got captured and got imbibed with this hallucinogenic substance, as I explained earlier. And he's having all these kind of dreams, like all over the island, which also neatly ties back into the main game and the main story of that, with Jin reflecting on, you know, a bit more of his past and his relation to his father and stuff like that. And it's very well done. However, during your casual playthrough, it might take you out of the action a little bit too often, because these interruptions happen quite regularly. So yeah, can definitely cost you a little bit of time there. Anyway, back in the real world, we have actually been rescued by a raider of Iki Island called Tenzo. And he's basically more or less our best friend on the island, so to speak. He is the one that we will do quite a lot of quests with. However, he also has a bit of a troubled past going on, which you can discover if you follow the main quest. However, what we are going to do is, once I actually get control back of my character and Jin gets up, thank you very much, we're just gonna call our horse and grab yet another fast travel option over to this side. Now, the important thing is, while this vision is going on here, the eagle is talking to us, we have to make it over this bridge, because if we cross this bridge while we are not in another conversation or another trigger, we will get yet another flashback with a duel fight, and that would just take a good 2 minutes or so to get through. So it's a massive time loss if you trigger that, so we absolutely do not want to do that. So you have to make it across that bridge while that conversation with the eagle, quote-unquote, is still going on. Anyway, now that we have that fast travel point, we're actually going to use the one that I triggered earlier when I died, because now we have to get all the way over to the west of the island and have a little talk with Tenzo in order to actually go ahead and continue the main quest. And that is what we're going to do right here. So we'll have a little bit of a nice ride through a forest on Iki Island here. Gonna do a run by of Sentinel's Peak. We're actually not going to liberate this location. Actually, we're not gonna liberate anything on Iki Island, because this is a speedrun. I'm not doing a casual playthrough, obviously. We're just gonna take a quick ride around here, and then down where these yellowish trees are, we'll find Tenzo and our next main objective. And there he is.
Jin from Yarikawa. Didn't think you'd make it.
Alright, this will be another short escort that we will have to do, and as is customary, we actually don't want to ride the normal way. What we want to do is, because once again our movement will be slowed down, we would just jump along a little bit, because that is faster than actually mounting our horse and riding alongside Tenzo, until their conversation has come to a certain point somewhere around these rocks, and that will actually call for our horse and get on it here, because from this point onward we can actually ride our horse, or go ride faster, I want to say. And we just want to use a little bit of resolve to do a little bit of a horse charge here. Now, the horse charge, I don't know, it doesn't even save half a second, maybe a quarter of a second, because we don't have a lot of resolve to use here, but every frame counts, I want to say. And we are just gonna go into another fight right here. So what I want to do is I want to grab some more Way of the Flame right here, or incendiary oil, kill a Mongol, light my sword on fire, and start hitting these people. But first I actually want to go ahead and kill the shaman, and then hit these people. Sadly not going too well, because what is actually supposed to happen here, if you remember from the main game, or if you've ever seen a Ghost of Tsushima speedrun before, I have the ghost armor equipped. And what one of the perks of the ghost armor is that whenever I kill an enemy, I have a chance to terrify another enemy. And what terrify does is it makes it so that the enemy drops his weapon and flees the battle. And that makes him counting as defeated. So I don't have to concern myself with that enemy anymore because, you know, he's out of the fight completely. So basically, whenever I kill an enemy, I have a chance to quote-unquote kill another enemy. Now we equip the ghost armor with more charms, which are, you know, stacking passive bonuses to increase that chance to terrify enemies. Also, you actually have to wait for Tenzo here, so he follows us around this rock, because otherwise we cannot progress with the game. Doesn't matter too much because we have to wait for the conversation to finish anyway before we can grapple onto this thing right here. But back to the ghost armor. We want to increase the terrify chance as much as we can. On top of that, I have other charms equipped that makes it so that when I light an enemy on fire, I have yet more chance for enemies to get terrified and run away. So optimally, I light my sword on fire, start hitting enemies, and immediately some of them will get terrified and run away. And then when I kill an enemy, I have an even higher chance of terrifying even more enemies. So most of the time, I only have to kill one enemy to terrify about 4 others or so, making the fights very much bearable, I want to say. But yeah, this is just a little bit of a traversal going on here. We'll make our way to, what's it called? Raider's Rest, I think. It's basically the last bastion of resistance on Iki Island against the invading Mongol forces. And, you know, we don't have a lot of support at the moment, so our best bet is to try and join up with these raiders in order to stand a chance against the Mongol army. So we can actually, you know, fight back and drive them off the island. Even though they are not exactly friendly to us, because as it so happens, Clan Sakai, which Jin is a member of, invaded Iki Island a couple years past and basically slaughtered all the raiders or all the resistance because, you know, they were not following Shogun law. And the samurais obviously cannot have that. But yeah, Clan Sakai isn't exactly liked around these parts, and that is also why Jin is using the moniker Jin from Yarikawa, so these people don't know that he is actually from Clan Sakai. So yeah, all these people are eyeing us a little bit suspicious because after all they do know that we are a samurai. Even if you're not exactly dressing like a samurai, because, you know, ghost armor, not exactly samurai stuff I want to say, but Also, another fun addition with the Iki Island expansion is that we can get outfits from other PlayStation exclusive games. Like, for example, the Ghost Armor has a dye from Shadow of the Colossus, which I'm actually wearing. So if you take a look at the mantle of my outfit there, you can kind of see the symbol from Shadow of the Colossus there, which is pretty neat. I do like that outfit. And there's also one for God of War and even Bloodborne, which we'll see a little bit later on. So now that we have started basically the next main quest already, we will go back all the way to the east of the island, where we grabbed yet the second fast travel option before we started the other quest just now. And you know, the game really just likes to ping pong you from west to east on Iki Island, so there will be a lot of that. But yeah, now that we're here, we're gonna meet up with Tenzo, because as it turns out, the Mongols have a warship that is circling the island. And Jin basically wants to prove his worth to his new allies by disabling that warship more or less by himself, or at least, you know, just with a small force to show all these people what he is actually capable of. Hello? I talked to you. Okay, that was strange. I guess that never happened before, because I totally started the conversation there, Tenzo. I have no idea why you didn't start talking to me, buddy. But I guess it is what it is. Anyway, we waited till nightfall, because then this warship will come into this cove right here, making it an easy target for us from land as well. So let's see how our sneak attack goes, huh? On the way, we're having a nice short conversation between Tenzo and Jin here, making a little fun of each other. You know, building that trust and friendship. And then we get into a little bit of a fight here. Just want to go ahead, assassinate that dude. Again, light my sword on fire and just beeline it over to this shaman, because shamans are also a new category of enemies. And what they can do is they can chant And when they do that, all the other enemies in a certain radius around them will get buffed, and the buff basically makes it so that they are stronger, they can take more damage, all of their attacks become actually unblockable, and a stray arrow hit and killed me. Great. Good start here. He wasn't even buffed by a shaman. Oh my lord. So I guess we're gonna do that little section of the game again. But yeah, same strategy still applies. Kill that dude. Make your way over to the shaman. He always spawns by the bonfire here, so he's actually somewhat of an easy target to spot. And then we just kill these guys. Make our way over to the archers. Throw a bomb at the guys in the back, so we already can take care of them. Oh, there's a second shaman around here. Interesting. Don't think I ever noticed that guy. Anyway, with all the guys taken out, we will make our way over to the shore here where the warship is at the far end. And we'll just wait for the next cutscene to happen. But sadly the mist lifted and now the warship saw us and starts shooting down at us. So what we'll do here is we'll actually go ahead and equip the Sakai clan armor with the lovely God of War skin. As you can probably see here, we are a proper God of War now. Because this quest actually functions a little bit strangely. Because as I've just explained, I actually do want to use my ghost armor to terrify the enemies, so I don't have to kill as many. However, for some strange reason, all the enemies in this section of the game are immune to being terrified. So there is no way for me to terrify them. We have no idea why that is. It's just something we have to deal with. And since the ghost armor is equipped to, you know, terrify enemies, and not exactly for prolonged combat, I actually switched to the Sakai armor here because this one is just loaded up with damage increasing charms, which means that I can just very easily kill all these enemies in 1 to 2 strikes in order to make this combat go by a little bit faster. Now I do have to go and kill all the enemies around here, which can take a little while because they like to scatter all around the boat here. Sometimes they notice you, sometimes they don't. So you have to basically just be on your toes in order to find them all. I also want to try and grab a few things around here if I can. And where are the last of you guys? Oh, okay, you're over there still. Okay, hello there, buddy. What is that? Hello, die. Somebody is shooting at me. Where is that guy? Ah, come on. Oh, my lord. Okay, I guess you want to die first, huh? And now I have to go back onto the ship because the guys up there have totally no idea what's going on down here. And there's another guy who went down the other side again. Oh my lord. Guys, you are making this way too hard for me. Alright, that wasn't exactly great, but I guess that is what RNG can do to you. But now that we've killed all the guys around the boat, we still have to go up this little rock here and kill all the other reinforcements. Gonna make my life a little bit easier by throwing some bombs. Excuse me, I threw a bomb at you. Okay, gotta be a little bit careful around these archers because I'm absolutely out of health, out of resolve, basically out of everything. And then make my way over to these last few enemies up there by the cannon. Throw a bomb at them, hopefully I will hit the explosive barrel to kill all of these guys. And that is that. And now that we have the supply ship, we will actually make our way out to the actual warship in order to infiltrate it, because they think that we are some reinforcements, we are bringing supplies over to them. But surprise, we are the enemy. So let's have a little bit of a boat-on-boat combat here. So once again, I cannot terrify these enemies, so the best I can do is just try and kill them as quickly as possible. I want to be mindful of these archers around here, because as we just saw, they can be a little bit troublesome. Okay. Okay. Okay, anybody left? Yes, you are. No, you're not. We'll make our way up here. There's some more enemies. Throw a bomb at that guy. Start hitting the others. And then we'll just kill you dudes. Make our way down here, drop a smoke bomb so they don't attack us. Drop another. Ignite the black powder. Drop a couple more kunais and hightail it out of here before the whole ship blows up. Alright. And that takes care of that. Nice. So we have made some new friends. Because we basically proven our worth, you know, that we can do whatever we set out to do here, which is always nice to do, I guess. Alright, now that we have proven our worth in the eyes of the raiders, it's time to actually go to Fort Sakai and try and retake it, because, you know, it's basically a kind of family heirloom, so to speak. It was erected by our father back in the day, and we just can't leave that in enemy occupation now, can we? I don't think we can. So we'll make our way over here once more. Have a little talk with Fune.
Well done, Jim.
And once we have accepted this next quest, we will yet again fast travel to the first fast travel point that we got, the Deer Sanctuary. So you can really see how all of these fast travel points basically do double duty, because we use them quite often in this very short run, actually. Call for our horse. Actually want to go ahead and go back to the ghost armor. And just quickly take care of these guys, because maybe I can get some resolve out of that. I didn't. But it's not too big of a deal. Because another perk of the horse charge is that you have a... I think a 10% chance whenever you use the horse charge, or whenever the horse charge hits an enemy, that regains some resolve, and that basically means that you can use your horse charge even more or even longer. Sadly, I didn't get a refill there, so I couldn't use it as often on the ride up here, but it's just RNG. There's not a lot that you can do about it. Anyway, we will make our way up to Fort Sakai, because we are a one-man army, and Fune actually told us that there are a lot of raiders held captive at Fort Sakai, so we will try and rescue these guys and retake the fort in the meantime. So we will try to be a little bit sneaky by coming from the way up here. So let's see how this fight goes, shall we? Because this can be a little bit finicky because of the random enemy placements. This is actually not the guy that I want to see there. There's not a lot I can do. But both shamans are back here in the corner, which is pretty great. So I don't have to look for them individually. I could take them out in one fell swoop. Now I just have to find all the other enemies. One of the archers is here. And maybe if I kill you, the other will run away. Yep. Okay. So now that everyone has run away, we will free the first batch of raiders out here, and then we'll make our way into the fort, where we will try to free all the rest of them. And this can be a little bit tricky, because while your NPC companions can be somewhat useful, do remember that we are playing on lethal difficulties, so that is why I can die very easily. But it also means that the enemies and allies deal a lot of damage, so they should be able to kill each other pretty quick as well. However, I want to try and prioritize these shamans to take them out so they don't buff the rest of them, and then free the other raiders back in the cages here. And then try and quickly clean up whatever our allies have left alive, and as it turns out, quite a lot. I don't think they've killed anything around here. Okay, that was a little bit rude. That guy just hit me while I was stuck in an assassination animation. How rude, dude. Oh my god. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, but I guess it works. But yeah, 3 more people. Then again, we'll once again light our sword on fire in order to fight these guys. Free the last of the guys that we can. Just quite a lot. And then just be a little bit on a cleanup duty, fighting the last few enemies that are still around here. Could you die? Okay. And now we will make it to the last portion of the fort. For that, we will switch over to the Kensai armor. Because this has a quite particular charm setup as well. Just quickly kill that guy. And then we will jump off the bridge here in order to trigger the Charm of Perfect Landing to regain a lot of resolve. Because we actually have a boss battle coming up, which are the duels in the game. And I want to have as much resolve as I can for that in order to make it go by really quickly. And jumping off that bridge and triggering the Charm of Perfect Landing is the quickest way to regain a lot of resolve at this point. I want to equip my blowgun here and snipe these shamans up there so they cannot buff their allies. And then just come up here and kill this second one. And once again do a little bit more of cleanup, but actually it seems like our allies have everything under control pretty good. So probably won't have to help a lot. Yeah, there we go. Then I'm gonna switch over to the Ronin attire, because this is basically my dual armor. I have that set up once again in a very particular way that is good for duels with the charms of dual destruction. What these do is they give you a chance to deal double damage with each strike. With the loadout that we have about a 40% chance, I want to say, for each sword attack to deal double damage, which is pretty good. However, it also makes it RNG if this duel goes right or wrong, basically. Because if I let it get a lot of procs from the double damage, well, this fight will go by pretty fast. If not, I might be in for a real rough ride here, but I guess we'll see in just a moment. Now, Kumbish is also pretty interesting, and he has 3 very distinct fighting styles. He has double swords, he has a sword and shield, and the spear at his back. And he will actually switch between all 3 weapons during the fight. And as you can see, we got a lot of double damage procs, which makes that fight go by super quickly. We basically had no time to talk about it at all. And now the game actually expects me to follow Kumbish through the fortress here. However, I can just take this shortcut, and now I'm actually ahead of him. So he's more chasing me than I'm chasing him. However, he can still manage to drop these bombs from up high. I have no idea how I was able to do that, because he's obviously behind me, but now he's in front of me. So what the hell is going on here? But yeah, it's just hard programmed into the game that Kumbish dropped these bombs on you, even though, you know, he can be behind you. But anyway. With that out of the way and the fort recaptured, it is time for us to yet again go back to Raiders Retreat and already start the second to last quest of the Iki Island expansion. Oh my god, we're just blitzing through the whole thing here. So once again, we'll come here, switch our outfit to the ghost armor, have a talk with Fune, and then we will start the massacre at, what's it called? Kitafura village, right? Which is basically, it's not the finale yet, but it's probably the biggest fight in the game. Because we are trying to draw out the Eagle's forces and set up a bit of a, you know, open fight against them in this old village. So first of all, let's make our way over there.
Lookout tower. Got a good view up there.
And we'll grab a couple, oh, stuck on the tree there, a couple more things around here, just so we are prepared for all the fights that are about to happen. And then we'll just have a look around here in order to find some good ambush positions.
They see something, they can signal us fire from the ship.
Set them off the moment your people see the invaders.
Then we ride in.
So we're basically having a little bit of a calm before the storm here. Also, Jin is having a couple more hallucinations along the way. Because, you know, he has been here before when he was just a kid and his father was slaughtering all these people. And now it's basically the other way around. Now he is on the side of the Raiders fighting back against the Mongols. I mean, Obviously the Mongols weren't here before, it was his father's forces, but you get the idea.
Overwhelm.
We'll reinforce it with whatever we can throw together.
Get everyone in position. We'll have
Alright, now that we have discussed our battle strategies, it's time to take them into action and kill a couple Mongols, I suppose. So back we go into our horse and meet them in bloody battle. So I will actually use the horse charge here just to go by a little bit quicker. However, I don't want to use all of my resolve because I will need it for the fight ahead, so I can actually run down a couple Mongols. So it's basically a little bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because you want to use the resolve for the horse charge to go faster, but you also want to use it right here to actually kill more enemies to be faster, so I guess pick your poison. Oh yeah, that was a pretty good charge. And now we can join the battle proper. Our people are actually doing good work here. And that was the first part of the fight, already done, very nice. There are more reinforcements coming from over there. Once again, there's gonna be 2 shamans back here, so we do want to try and hit those first. Jin, hit those first, please. Okay, the second one is running, that is very good. Gonna hit these guys. And I can terrify these enemies again, so these fights should go quite a bit quicker. Okay, that is that part done. So we'll call for our horse again. And right to the next point. Now you will always basically see me initiate combat by throwing something at my enemies, be it a kunai or a sticky bomb or whatever I have at the ready. Simply because if I try to initiate a fight by attacking the enemies first, there's a high chance that they will just block my attacks and counterattack me, which could be pretty lethal as I can die in 1 to 2 strikes. So I always want to try and, you know, open the fight with something else that actually breaks their defense, so just so that it makes it easier for me to actually hit them. Okay, once we have taken care of the first few enemies around here, there are 2 shamans coming from this side that I immediately want to get rid of. And then we will just take care of the rest as quickly as possible. Okay, a couple more people alive somewhere around here, and that is it. Okay, so with all of that cleared, we'll have once again another vision. Now, seeing how our father's forces killed all these people around here back in the day. It's a very bloody tale. Absolutely. Once that is done, once again, we'll call for our horse and make our way over to another ambush site. Because more of our people are calling help by setting off these alarms. So let's try and give them some support, shall we? We're making our way up here. So we'll trigger another cutscene that we can just go ahead and skip. And what I want to do next is I have to fight 3 forces of enemies, and I don't want to immediately kill all of them. I will actually just go ahead and throw black powder bombs at them. We should kill them immediately. However, I do want to do that a little bit delayed in order to hit all the reinforcements coming in as well. And if everything was done correctly, I can already go there and rescue this guy immediately without having to wait for even further reinforcements. Which saves quite a bit of time if those don't come in. Alright. And with that done, there are even more Mongols coming in, so once again we have to go back the exact way that we came. And have our last battle for this quest, which is going to be a pretty big one. Okay, sorry for that. I thought I had my alarm set off. So if you've heard that, I apologize. Apparently I didn't. Anyway, we are gonna have, you know, another big old melee right around here. So let's see how quickly we can dispatch of all these guys. There should be some shamans around here somewhere that I want to try and find, but I just can't see them yet. Maybe they're already gone? Okay, these archers are gone. These guys are still coming in. He's going away. So probably you have to go back because I missed some people. Oh, I actually didn't. They all ran away. Okay, so this is the second to last wave of enemies. What I will just do here, because they're all clumped up, is just throw a bomb at them. And hopefully, yeah, hit a lot of them. It should get rid of mostly everybody around here. And then I just have to go and kill one more enemy out of all of these guys charging me here. And that should take care of all the rest of them, because they are so demoralized that they will just leave me in peace, except for that one dude that I still have to kill. And that takes care of the massacre at Kitafura village. Oh wow, that was a 1-minute gold split. Well, boys and girls, I think we are on PB pace right here, so let's keep it going. Anyway, we are now en route to the last quest of the Iki Island expansion, which will be the Blessing of Death. That's quite the heavy-handed name, I guess, but I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, we just have to ride in a straight line between these buildings over to the next quest trigger. Sadly, there is no fast travel point that we could grab there. I mean, there is one, but we wouldn't have been able to grab that before because it's just too far out of the way, so we just have to take this short ride over there. But it's basically in a straight line, so it's hard to miss. And now that I've said that, I will probably go ahead and miss it by a mile or something, so let's see how that goes. Eh, it was a little too far to the right there. But anyway, just have to go over there.
I wasn't sure you'd show up.
Talk to my quote-unquote friends there, and we are off to the last mission of the Iki Island expansion. So generally speaking, what is happening here, you know, the Eagle wasn't at Fort Sakai. Just Kumbush was there, and she wasn't part of the massacre at Kitafura village, so we have no idea where she is. She is roaming the island somewhere, so we have to find her and take care of her last remaining forces. So Jin has come up with a brilliant plan that when his father was on the island and, you know, was invading it, so to speak, they were lured into an ambush in Senjo Gorge. So Jin is thinking, you know, it worked against us, the samurai, so maybe it will also work against the Mongols. So they're basically doing the exact same thing as they did, well, I don't know, 2 decades ago or so, and tried to lure the Mongols into a trap in Senjo Gorge. But first of all, we have to find the Eagle's forces, so we're just gonna have a small ride around the countryside here and try and find them.
Yes. They're getting worse.
I warned you. This will only end madness and death.
So, we just wait for Tenzo to dismount his horse, and when he does, we'll jump off our horse, because that is faster than, you know, just normal dismounting. And then we'll be very rude to all these people and just run straight past them. Like, no questions, just run straight past them to this next house. It's a little bit overgrown, but I think it's a house. And go to the survey point and look for the Eagle's helmet, which will be right over there. So there she is, that's the Eagle. Okay, we found our enemy. So let's go ahead and just bomb rush her, you know, go straight for the jugular here. And try to bite off, or not bite off, chop off the Eagle's head. The snake's head, the leader's head. You get what I mean. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep my distance. I don't actually want to fight her. And neither does she, so this will be a Mexican standoff, so to speak. We just both having our blades drawn. And hey, oh god, oh no, it was just an illusion. She wasn't actually here. Well, that's a bummer. But all of these guys are real, so I guess let's try and kill those guys instead. They deserve it. And then we just have to go and have a chat with Tenzo. Please stop.
Jin, what happened? What happened?
So this basically was a trap. The Mongols actually know what is going on. So, yeah, our troops are in a bit of a bind here. Because, you know, they are fighting in a gorge. They were supposed to ambush the enemies, but instead they are getting ambushed themselves now. So that's not good. Also, Jin, why are you just riding from left to right, buddy? I just need to go in a straight line. Anyway, as you can see by the fire in the forest over there, things aren't looking so good. So, let's try and help our people there, because we can see all these Mongols riding in there. So we are gonna have another big old fight on our hands. As, of course, is customary for the last quest of the game, I guess. So this will be another pretty big battle going on here, with multiple stages. So let's see how it goes. Can you... Thank you. Alright. You're still alive. Okay, took care of the first wave. Now we'll make our way into there properly. You can already see the shaman chanting, increasing the abilities of his other people, which I don't like, so please stop living. And then we have to go and not take care of that guy. Where are they again? I didn't want to kick you, sorry dude. I just want to kill you. The kick was a little bit superfluous. Alright. That took care of the first wave. And now we will actually go into the gorge, not the forge, and look for the eagle, see if you can find her. And we'll have these visions all along, and these visions are kind of bad, because what they do is they strip us in all of our resolve. And remember, without any resolve we cannot heal, and we also cannot revive ourselves, so it is very easy for us to die at this point. So I have to be very careful of what I do around here. Because I've died a couple of times here during one of my last marathon showcases of this, and it just looked embarrassing. Thankfully, it didn't happen this time, so I hope I'm good to go. Anyway, more enemies, and hey, it's the eagle again. And she's actually going to try and attack me this time, but I'm not having any of that. I'm going to be a little bit disrespectful to her and just stick her with sticky bombs, because I have to wait for this hallucination for this dialogue to finish here. And she would just go ahead and attack me over and over at this point. So what I will do here is just throw sticky bombs at her, one after the other, because it stuns her for a very long time, but the dialogue still progresses, so I can just, you know, have her off my shoulder for a little while there. In the meantime, I want to position myself in a way that I can immediately go ahead and attack the shaman once I come out of this hallucination, because he is still a high priority target. I do want to get rid of the shamans as quickly as possible. And since the enemies can't attack me while I'm in the hallucination, it just, you know, gives me the time to do exactly that. Can somebody kill that guy, please? Thank you. Okay, with that out of the way, we have one more of these fights to get through, which will happen right down here. So again, I'm already looking for the shaman, see if I can find him. He's over to the left. Okay, so I will try and position myself somewhere around here. And once again, I will have another hallucination, where I just have to wait for the dialogue to finish, so I will just use my sticky bombs to throw at the eagle to try and keep her off my back so I don't take damage and potentially die. I think I will actually go a little bit farther back and try to do that with a black powder bomb, now that I think about it, because all the enemies were pretty much clumped around here, yeah. That should get a good hit in. Make it pretty easy to take care of these guys, holy hell. Okay, who's still standing? You are. Stop doing that. Okay, that was that. And now we just have to make our way even further into the gorge and confront the eagle and have our last duel. And with that, the last fight of the game. So once again, I will... not of the game, of the expansion. Once again, I will go ahead and equip the Ronin attire, because it is my dual armor. Once again, this fight is a little bit based on RNG, simply because I do want the Charms of Dual Extraction to proc, so I deal double damage to make the fight go faster, just that little bit quicker. But I guess we'll see how this goes. The nice thing is, at the start of the duel, I will get a full resolve bar, so I can immediately start using my Dance of Wrath on her and deal quite a bit of damage, which should potentially trigger the hallucination, and I have to hit her with my sword once normally without using any special attacks in order to make the hallucination go away, so to speak. So this is the halfway point into the duel. I will just skip the cutscene. Now I will be back in the fight, but I will have full resolve again. So I can just go ahead and use the Dance of Wrath once more, or even thrice more, in order to finish this battle very quickly. So we are fast approaching the end of this run here. I'll just do this, hit her a couple more times, and that is that fight. However, the run is not over quite yet. I still have to do a haiku. At the end here, you know, just a little poetry to close out the run on a very somber note, because we have to reflect on our father's death. So this will be a little bit of speed poetry for you guys. I'll just select the first options that come to mind here. So take a breather, enjoy the poetry.
Hiding darkness. My father's reaching up. Free at last from life.
And I will skip one final cutscene. And once the title card is on screen, that will be time. And time. That was one, everybody. That was a very quick 51 minutes 10 seconds. That was a PB by 1 minute and 3 seconds actually. So kind of glad with this run. This was a pretty good one. I mean, sadly there was still I think I died once. I think I had to reload at one point. But yeah, this was a very quick run for all of you. I hope you enjoyed it. This is one of the fastest categories in the game at the moment. All the others take multiple hours to get through, especially if you're doing the 2 islands category, which makes you complete the main game and the Iki Island expansion at once. But if you are interested in speedrunning this game, come join the Discord, come join the community. We will gladly help you up. Big shout outs to Charlatan11235. I think I saw him in chat here. He is the one who started running this category the first. He's the one who came up with most of the strategies and the routing and whatnot for this particular category. So huge shout outs to him. And of course, big thank you to the organizers for having me, inviting us to play Ghost of Tsushima for you. Big love to the community of this game, and that's all from me. I hope you guys have a fun marathon, and I'll see you around. Until then, bye bye. And yes, I will just keep waving until I'm offline.